Hey everyone, it's Sebastian with Candle Business Pro. As a reminder, on our website, we have a free download of all the supplies and tools that we use in our store, from our wax melter to the wax, to the suppliers that we use, to where we get our vessels from, to our scales, our thermostats, all of that. So as a reminder, that's completely free for you to download. If you go to candlebusinesspro.com, it'll say free resources, and there'll be not only that, but also our candle calculator, how we do our formulas to make sure that we don't waste wax or overpour anything. So those are completely free, and they're right on our website, candlebusinesspro.com. But there should be a link also in the description below. So I'm back with 5 more questions that people have asked inside of our community that I want to answer for everyone. So the first question here is from Belinda. Belinda asks, how to reach a customer base that's willing to pay more than Walmart prices for a quality candle? Okay, great question. It is tough to sometimes internalize that people can spend $5 for a candle, probably the size at Walmart. And how am I going to get someone to spend $42 like I do for my candle? You've got to realize that there are candles from $5 to $500. It's all about what your niche is and who your target audience is. So that person that's buying that candle for $5 at Walmart is most likely not your customer, because you can't cater to that customer, because we can't make candles that cheap. We don't have the resources. We can't buy in bulk like that. We can't mass produce at those rates to make candles of that price. So don't focus on that customer. Make sure that you have your target audience dialed in. I have a lot of resources inside of our community about your target audience. So knowing who your target audience is, who you're going to be selling to, and then your niche. What is it within that target audience that you're going to be creating for them? So figure those 2 things out, and you'll be in a much better position. We want to make sure that we know our target audience and our niche before we're making candles and then just throwing them out there and hoping someone buys. Because then we're kind of doing it backwards. We're creating a product, but we don't know who we're creating it for. And that's really backwards. Just think of, as an example, a car, right? So like when Kia makes a car, or when like Lexus makes a car, like they know who they're making it for before they make it, because those are different customer bases. If Mercedes made their car, but they were going after the Kia customer at the end, it wouldn't make sense because the pricing isn't right and all of that. So same thing with your candles. You got to know who you're going to be making it for, and then make that candle for them. What are they spending on candles? What size candles? What style candles? What scents do they go for? That's completely different for all kinds of things. Are you trying to do low cost budget candles? Are you doing a farmhouse cottage type of candles? Are you trying to go luxury? What direction are you trying to go? So know that, and then find that target audience. And then just, that's who you cater to, and you got to block out the noise of everything else. So the next question here is from Faith. How to get more retailers? So if this is a wholesale question, which I imagine it is, as far as to get more retailers, we go over that in our Mastering Wholesale course. If you are struggling to get wholesale customers, or if you are just on Fair, and Fair is kind of like Etsy, right? You throw your product out there on Fair, and you're just hoping that these retailers come to you. And it's very saturated. There's a lot of us out there on there. So we've got about 130 wholesale accounts now. And we've probably got 90% of those by our outreach. So not by people just like randomly discovering us on Fair and then getting that sale. Because then you're waiting around hoping. You're hoping someone finds you today. You're hoping someone places an order. And that's just not the way I like to do business. I like to go out and get my business. So we reach out in January through April, kind of what we're in right now, is where I ramp up my wholesale, because I'm getting ready for people to do their holiday buys for next year, which is going to happen in this July and August. And also people right now are wanting to buy for their summer stock of products. So that's our Master Wholesale course. Hopefully that helps you out. If you're interested in that course, you can find that at candlebusinesspro.com as well. Let's see. The next question here is from Connie. How to gauge what fragrance will be hot in upcoming seasons so that I can prepare for the bazaars? Great question. So it is tricky. We see all the suppliers come out with a wide variety. In fact, this past week, we actually received a shipment of new oils yesterday that we were testing out. And it's interesting because they're going to be all over the place. Every supplier is trying to gauge what's going to be hot, and they hope that their product's going to be hot and we're going to love it and buy it. And sometimes their candle scents are fantastic, but it's not what's on trend. What I have found, and people may do this a little bit differently, but what I have found is I like to follow what is hot in the perfume industry. Whatever's hot in the perfume and cologne industry, I feel tends to end up trickling down to the candle industry. For instance, the Santal that we just crushed it in 2024, and still now our Santal candle that we have just crushes it. And the majority of the time, it's people see the name and they're like, oh, Santal, and they pick it up and they smell it. And I hear them having a conversation. And they're like, oh, what's Santal? And they refer to a perfume that's really hot right now. I know Tom Ford always has something that's hot. Baccarat has something that's hot. And sometimes these scents, to be very honest with you, sometimes the scent, the Santal I love. I wear a Santal. I think it's very unisex. I wear a Santal perfume, cologne, unisex spray. But as far as like the candles and things go, I love the Santal, but there's other ones that are really popular from big name brands that I know there was a 1617 that's no longer a supplier, but they made a lot of perfume inspired scents. And people bought those up because of the name, like the Baccarat Rouge and things like that. And those scents weren't necessarily great, but they sell. And so then you're in a tricky position of like, man, like, are we selling candles or are we putting out the best products that we want? Are you an artist or are you a candle creator? So like, there's a fine line there. I go over this, a lot of this in our membership of like, are you making candles to run a business? That's what I'm doing. I'm putting out what I know is going to sell or what I think is going to sell. I'm not putting out what I want necessarily. So I'll put out candles that I know I can sell. The Santal is one that hopefully crushes it again in 2025. But to answer your question, that was a long-winded answer. Hopefully you got some tips out of that. But follow the perfume and cologne. See what's trendy. See who the hot sellers in that market is. You can simply do that by searching online of top perfumes of 2025. And things like that. And you're going to find scent notes. So a couple of years ago, it was a grapefruit inspired, and I can't think of the name of the designer of that fragrance, but that May, like 2023 into 2024, grapefruit was super hot because those were the heavy notes inside of a perfume. So I like to follow that trend and see what's coming up. So I know there is a push to get vanilla to be trendy again. I don't know if that's going to work, but you see that a lot of the suppliers have a variety of vanillas. So just something to keep in mind there. Rhonda asks, I would like to hear other success stories. Surround yourself with people that are successful or that are doing well. And we're not all doing great. We're all on a journey, right? I've got 3 stores, plenty of wholesale accounts, and that's not enough. I want more. I want to keep growing. I've got a lot of aspirations to try to achieve this year. So surround yourself with people. Inside of our free Facebook community is Candle Business Pro. It's a group on Facebook. You can join that. There should be a link, I believe, in the description or on our website. You'll find our the little icons at the bottom. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram, where our private group it's completely free to the public. But we're always dropping knowledge in there and trying to help people out. And then you'll see people coming back saying, hey, this worked, or hey, I did this. So that's one way. If you really want to dive in, we have our Candle Business Pro membership. And that's where it's other people that are just growing their business. And so it's more, it's business minded. It's not talking about how to wick candles, how to make candles. It is about how do I grow? How do I get my packaging right? How do I update my website? So we actually just did a workshop a couple nights ago on how to host candle making parties. Because those candle making parties, $400 a pop we would make on those. Easy, very easy. And it's very easy to get your name brand out there. We started doing that way before we had our store. So that's something to keep in mind. Surround yourself with other people that are doing what you want and pick up tips and advice. You don't have to join our paid membership. You can join our free group and just follow us on social media. We're always trying to put stuff out there. So hopefully that helps you a little bit. Katie asks, how to continue to grow and scale. Okay, so look, I really believe in like the 80-20 rule. So 80% of our business comes from 20% of the things that we're doing. So you've got to really look at your business and say what's working, what's not working, and put your focus into what's working, because we only have a certain amount of time until we start having to pay others to help us get things done, or update your operating systems to get more things done, right? I can only do so much work in a week. So I need to focus on what's going to bring in the most revenue and growth for my business. So I need to evaluate and look at it. And there are certain aspects of my business that I thought, at certain parts of our journey was fantastic. For instance, when we first started, we were doing markets every weekend. Why? Because that was a moneymaker. That is what worked for us. So we did markets, every single weekend if we possibly could. We also did the candle making parties that I just referenced. That's $400 a party. If I can do 2 parties a week, that's $800 a week. Minimum. Usually we upsell them another couple $100 at these parties. Again, I talked about all that in the workshop that I just did. That was fantastic. Now that I have stores, I have to balance what makes the most sense. Am I going to not open up my store because I have a party to go to? No, that doesn't necessarily make sense because I have to open my doors. Look at what works and what doesn't work. For some people, it's going just hard into wholesale. If the majority of your business is coming from wholesale, or you want it to come from wholesale, then focus on that. Try to do, when people say like only do, stay in your lane or do your own thing, I say always get out there and try it all, just so you know, but then make sure that you scale back and just focus on what works best for you. Some people want to just sell in their local community and they want to just be in retailers. Fine, focus on that and double it. Put all of your effort and energy into that. If you want your website to be successful and you want that to grow, put all your energy into that. So hopefully that helps you a little bit. But as far as like scaling goes, it's just repetition. Keep doing exactly what you're doing over and over again, and you're just going to continue to grow and cut out the fat. So cut off the things that aren't working as well, right? There's some things that I just can't do. For instance, when we first were starting our brand, we got onto TikTok. TikTok is shutting down tomorrow, depending on when you're watching this video. Apparently, maybe it'll be back by the time you watch this video. But not about the shutdown, about okay, I'm posting on Facebook, I'm posting on Instagram, I'm posting on TikTok. Okay, I don't have time for all of this. What is working for me? For me, TikTok didn't work, whether it's the price of our candles, whether it's because I don't make the right videos for it. I don't know. But so I cut it out. So we don't mess with TikTok anymore because it wasn't doing anything for us. We we have a good engagement with our customers on Facebook and Instagram. That can be our target audience. That's our clientele. That's where they're at. So focus on what's working and then go harder at that. So now instead of posting on Twitter and Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and trying to make 2 posts a week on all of those, I'll get rid of the Twitter, I'll get rid of the TikTok, and now instead of 2 posts a week, I'm going to try to do 3 posts a week on Facebook and Instagram. That's going to be more engagement. That's more eyes of my customers on my products. I can go from there. So that's it. That's 5 questions. Hopefully this has helped you out a little bit. Again, follow us at candlebusinesspro.com. You can join our free group. There should be some free resources in the description below. So have a fantastic day. Take care. Bye.